let's chat about Reds and Dodgers. Reds taking all 3 games against LA. The Reds were 10 games under 500 heading into the series at home against the Dodgers. But when I asked around in baseball to people, like the last couple of weeks, I was like, okay, we have all these mid teams in the NL. Who do you believe in the most over the long run? And people say the Reds. People kept saying the Reds, even as the offense continued to sputter and they continued to fall further and further under 500. This series was a statement, a loud shout that the Reds are alive with the sound of music. Game 1, they go down. Jonathan India, go ahead, grand salami in the City Connect uniforms to beat the Dodgers on Friday night. Great pitching performances on Saturday and Sunday from Hunter Green, and then the whole bullpen, kind of very odd. To bullpen game the Dodgers on a Sunday is just so hilarious to me.
Yamamoto, and they had a rain delay in between, which helped and hurt in some ways. Yeah, so I was at the Friday and Saturday games, and the Reds have just had an astonishing winning percentage. When I've been in the building, I feel like they've had so many dramatic City Connect wins. And then on Saturday, just a really decisive performance. I think Hunter Green has very quietly started to become what we're kind of hoping to see from him. And it's really kind of amazing to me that he hasn't gotten more, because it's always been just slightly below what we've been hoping for, right? So to call him a disappointment would absolutely be a stretch. But since he hasn't quite gotten to that level of like total dominance for someone averaging 98 miles an hour, we've been a little bit wary to go all in on the Hunter Green as an ace train. But like, man, really impressive performance from him. And yeah, I mean, the Dodgers bats are asleep right now. We can get into that in a little bit. But this was a massively important series for the Reds, one that still has them, a game and a half back of the Pirates. They're still in last place in the Central, but it's still 7.5 back of first, right? I mean, it's still a very, very compressed division. As expected, it is still the flattest division in baseball between, the top and the bottom. So there is an opportunity for them to get back in it. And I hope that that would happen. That's what happens, because considering what happened last year, and this was about the time last year that they really started to pick it up. That was because they had these young players coming up in McLean and Ellie and everything. They don't really have that this year. Hopefully Noelvi Marte will come back from his suspension and play well. But McLean, I'm not expecting back anytime soon. They're going to need some of these veterans to start hitting. They need to find some right-handed bats that they can really trust. Candelario's really inconsistent. India has not really been awesome until this weekend. So they have struggled offensively, but the pitching is in place for them to get back in this. And I think that is definitely was a good reminder of that this weekend. So credit to them.
About 8 wild turkeys just walked by where I'm sitting.
I had a feeling. I was like, I think you're seeing a wild animal. I'm like pretty certain the look on your face was an unexpected animal just walked past your Airbnb. So I'm glad that was validating. I appreciate it.
Just wanted to
if you want, go back and watch on YouTube, Jake's eyes go very big. I'm like pretty sure that's what happened.
I was like, that's a lot of turkeys. The Dodgers have lost 5 in a row for the first time since 2019. Let me tell you how worried I am. Not. It's fine. It's okay. They're still really good. I don't really want to dwell on them too much right now. They're the Dodgers.
I wrote 900 words yesterday, just being like, hey, yeah, it's bad, but also a lot of teams are bad right now. And also this team has never been, this era of Dodgers baseball never has a bad stretch in the regular season derailed them. It has never happened. It is not that they lost 11 games in a row in September of 2017. Okay. This team is going to be just fine. They need to get Muncy back. They need to get Evan Phillips back. There are some problems on this roster. They are still an outstanding team, just as we said about Atlanta earlier. So not concerned.